Alright everyone, good evening. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. Tonight we are doing the 10th qualifier race for the Breath of the Wild Any Percent Tournament 2021. So I just sent our racers off and I hand it to our two commentators tonight. We have CBF and Storewide Boss 69. Take it away, you two.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm Storewide Boss. And, yeah,
I am
CBF.
CBF.
Sorry, CBF. I've only ever commentated as a solo, so
I seem to have lost
I'm
you
sorry
in
if I interrupt you or anything like that.
Nah, no worries at all.
So yeah, all our runners are starting. So it looks like we got a good mix of runners on here. I think this will be a good variety of people today.
Yeah,
We good?
sorry about that.
Okay.
Discord
All right.
being a little-
Yeah. So yeah, Breath of the Wild. As I always say for Breath of the Wild, this is a game that is very hard to do in a race because if you mess up a trick, there's a lot of tricks that are very precise. If you mess them up, you lose like 30 seconds, and it can make it or break it sometimes when it comes to these races. Luckily, this is more of a qualifier, so it's really for the runners, and we're not like it's not like a first place, second place kind of thing. So it's more laid back.
Yeah. I mean, the goal hopefully is to get like a good seating. I know last year seating was pretty intense because we had a lot of top runners who had like one or two bad runs because of the setup of the actual qualifiers as well. It was your first three runs were your first three runs. And thankfully, we have a two-game cushion where it's now your best three runs out of five get you your seating order, which is quite a cushion, I would say.
Yes, that is very helpful. Yeah.
Oh, and we're off. It looks like Bings was the first to get out of SOR.
Okay.
You want to walk us through what SOR clip is?
Yeah, so SOR clip, basically it's the first clip of the run. We gotta do a really precise scope clip here in this corner. It is kind of based on RNG. So for a lot of runners, you can just, not clip, and you can kind of just sit there for like a minute. A minute in a race is not a lot of time, but it does mess with your mentality a lot. It can be a little hard when you lose a few minutes to SOR. But it looks like all of our runners got out at a pretty good time. And so we don't have to worry about rain. So that's just a nice thing about it.
Yeah, very much so. Bing's grabbing some extra food there. The safety food's always helpful whenever we're doing these races. Especially when you have cold damage to worry about. If you can't get a clip, you get a bad BTB bounce. A lot of weird stuff can happen throughout the run, but
Yes. So here we're just grabbing equipment for our first shrine. It looks like all of our runners are very close together. I mean, they're all in the cutscene at the same time, so I think it's gonna be an interesting run.
yeah, I think so as well. Oh, and welcome to Senor Tapir. Thank you for the raid. We appreciate that.
Yes, welcome everyone coming in.
All right.
Looks like Sly is coming up to the Boko camp first. The Boko is definitely RNG. You can mess with it a little bit, and most of the time because we're doing pot lid, most of the time you don't die, but sometimes the Bokoblins can be mean, as you can see with Praha.
Oof.
Good backup. He went to the fireplace so he doesn't die to cold damage. He did get shot, and he's going back for backup food. Or no, just got an arrow. Yeah, I don't think he's got backup food, so he just gotta take the hit.
Yeah, that's
reset his
unfortunate.
health. Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yep,
Um,
and there's part of the reason why we end up grabbing that backup food sometimes. Again, really dependent upon the racer whether or not they want to play safe strats on plateau. I know a lot of folks tend to save their food up until they get to their scans, which will be after the shrine, I think, for most of these runners.
yes. So,
But
all
all
the other
right, Baja with
runners,
a whole new
Stasis
set of
Clip, I didn't
hearts
see if anyone did JM skew, but it looks like everyone did Shrine
to
skew.
Stasis,
It's a
where Sly's already
I
getting
think this is
his
like one of the hardest skew
Stasis
clips. So
rune.
it looks like everyone got in at a good time, and everyone else is, yeah, everyone
Pretty
got
close
in.
race, I
Okay,
would say,
I
between
know
these three
that
folks right
sometimes you
now.
can spend minutes on that clip, so I was surprised. I thought more people would go for JM skew, but looks like old reliable. So here is a. This is a deceptively hard trick. Looks like Sly got it. That is called Swiffy Jump. I think it's the scariest part about stasis. Um, it's hard to learn, but once you learn it, you kind of think to yourself like, "Oh, I won't mess it up again." But it is deceptively hard. Everyone has died to it, and everyone's been like, "Man, like you could have a really good run, and you have nerves, and yeah, it is hard to keep going when you fail that." So looks like everyone got it, or so far. So that is good. Are you good, CBF?
I'm
We
trying
have
to
it.
figure out this Discord situation.
Yeah, I could hear you coming in and out.
Yeah, apologies,
It's all right.
apologies.
All
Being
good.
loopy.
Yep. So all of our runners got Swiffy Jump on
Fantastic.
screen.
We love
So
it.
that's great. That is great. So here's just text. Breath of the Wild, compared to a lot of other Zelda games, okay, it has like no text. This is like the only part where you gotta do stuff, but with text. But here comes Amiibo. Most runners do Amiibo here. You need attack up food. It looks like Sly has gotten. Okay, so he needs carps and porgies. Porgies are better, but carps are good too. You just need more of them. So it
Yeah.
looks like he got one porgy, one carp, so that's good enough. You can get a razor shroom later on.
What happened with
Um,
Bings?
looks like you had to grab his amiibos.
Oh,
It may
no,
be
it's
on
just
another desk or something.
yeah. I think he had his
Oh, his
amiibo off.
controller.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That could be his controller.
Oof. A bit of a time loss, but again, nothing too critical.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like he's just moving on. I think he gave up on scans.
Oh, okay.
Okay, interesting.
Oof. Unfortunate with that Boko noticing. He has to change it. Ah, gotcha. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So for those,
Oh, okay.
yeah, the
Yeah,
folks
you
that
can
may not
explain it.
know, yeah, the Pro controller is garbage. When it comes to speedrunning this particular game, Power A does make a better controller that gives you less of what we call flickback. So what happens is you try and interchange between different runes. The thumbstick will either won't go to a true center neutral position, so it'll toggle, like let's just say for the sake of the conversation, between two different bombs and back to the initial bomb that you end up dropping, which is not helpful during these speedruns in this particular game. So some folks use Power A controllers, but the Power A controllers currently don't have the ability to use Amiibo, unfortunately. In an ideal world, they would, but they don't currently. And yeah, so
I
it looks like Bings is going between two
I
controllers
think
at
I
a
have a
time.
little. You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah. Looks like Cryo went okay for our runners. Bings I know had to reload. I think Sly and Crazy went all right for them. Sly there just did. Oh, you all heard him just fine.
Oh,
You sounded very much like you sounded like you were lagging for a bit, but it looked like everyone else sounded fine.
oh.
That's weird.
Yes.
I don't know why that would be a thing then. I'm sorry, I cut you off then. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good. You're good. I think Discord's just kind of having some issues. Oh, unfortunate for Praha there. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
Discording. Discord is Discording at the moment.
Man, I was worried. You were explaining everything so well, and I couldn't hear it, and I was worried because I was like, well, it's great, but I, I don't know if everyone could hear it.
¿Tú y qué quieres que diga en español? Así para que me entiendan bien, o si no.
All right, cool. Everyone can hear good.
All right, and so Sly and Crazy AZ and Bings are doing a really good job, and yeah, of getting through onto the next round, onto the next shrine. Unfortunate for Sly, we ended up getting a forest tangle, but a late one, which isn't too bad.
Yep. Yeah, he got a high angle, which is okay. It doesn't lose that much time. It's better than failing it entirely. So, oh, that's unfortunate. He tried to do a tree launch there, so he didn't, so he could avoid trying to run all the way over to the shrine. Yes. But unfortunately, those trees are just weird sometimes. They will just ignore stasis and just fall down for no reason. So.
Je parle français, Zelkies.
They yeah, he gotta run.
No, so the unfortunate piece is whenever you stasis that tree as it's falling, if you stasis it a bit too early, it actually gives you that animation where it does not fall over, which is, again, unfortunate. We've seen it happen at the tree ride over to TOT many a times. But thankfully, again, like Sly is very seasoned in this game and is able to figure out these backups to get to where he needs to get to with Crazy AZ getting unloaded. Let's go, Crazy.
Yeah, let's go. That saves about 10 seconds. That's good for Crazy.
That's how we close these gaps. And again, to Store White's point earlier today, or a bit ago, like something as simple as missing one of these tricks really does make such a huge difference. And something as good as getting unloaded makes up so much more. So thankfully, Praha having D-pad issues.
That is another reason why we use power ray controllers. It's really preference, but that's another reason why a lot of runners use it, is because the D-pad can go through. It'll, just a better D-pad. Help you be more precise.
True. Right. Sly making his way through Magnesis. Say hi to Greg. Hello, Greg.
Hello, Greg. That's Greg.
Yeah.
Everyone, no, Greg.
Oh. This is what we get
for vengeance today, man.
Yeah. Oh, wow, Crazy getting bopped by him as well.
That little guardian there is called Greg. He shoots you, and sometimes he can knock you into the pit. He just messes up your run.
It's true. All right. Praha getting Stasis or Cryonis, which some would deem as the most useless rune on plateau for at least any percent. I'll say that. It's Cryo skip as Bings is making his way through Magnesis.
Yeah, it was a good cryo skip.
And here I can see a variety of things, right?
Yeah, so Sly is doing box walk, and Crazy is doing an older strat called slab launch. Looks like Sly messed it up a little bit, but as a okay, box walk is a trick that you basically just stasis the box 4 times and you walk backwards on it. Walking backwards, you have to hold very slightly on the control stick. It's similar to like ESS position and other Zelda games. Crazy AZ has a little Monka S there. The slab can come. There's pros and cons to both. The slab can do that, where like it messes with the Bokos. It can hit you. It can hit the Bokos and do all kinds of things.
That's unfortunate for Crazy there.
Yeah, and the box can also hit you, and if you're just a little off on your control stick, you can fall off the box like that happened to Sly. So both have their pros and cons.
True. So unfortunate for Crazy, he actually ended up getting hit by the slab prior to arriving to the Boko camp. Took out one of the Bokos, and then unfortunately did not get a good bounce on that Boko that he needed to because the Boko was in motion, which does throw off the hitbox, does make it a little more difficult for us to get a solid bounce on its back. It looks like Bings also didn't get the most optimal bounce, but is able to recuperate as Sly has made his way to bombs. And with Sly, and this is one of the main things I believe Sly has mentioned in previous races, and also mentioned it last year. Sly moves forward. As you saw, he did not go back to do a slab launch. The goal was to just essentially get to the next section. And I think that type of mentality makes such a huge difference in these races. Because folks tend to get caught up in the, no, I need to get this trick. Sly is concerned with finishing up. So I respect that.
Yeah, it's a very good mentality when it comes to racing, just constantly pushing forward. If you have to backtrack, then, you know, sometimes it can be harder, or adding another trick to just try to get a little bit of time save can sometimes mess you up.
Very much so. But now Bings has been able to catch up to Crazy. They're pretty much next. He's a very sly one. And he's on Team Devious, if I'm not mistaken, so that's twice as sussy.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Huh. Anyway, looks like Crazy and Bings are both in the cutscene for bombs, and Sly is just finishing.
Yeah, Praha making his way through Magnesis there.
Yep. So here, I think Sly went for the normal wind bomb here, but this wind bomb is pretty, I mean, the wind bomb here, you have the risk of dying if you're not careful. Ragdolling there, Bing's got a quarter of a heart. If he was just ragdolling even a little more, he would have died. So
Sly with a good wind bomb to tree.
Yep.
All right. The other run killer for folks getting those double hits on the tree.
Yeah, the tree is it's weird how double hits work in this game. I don't know how they work, but over time you just kind of go, huh. That's how they work. And then you figure out how to get double hits on tree, all that stuff. And it looks like Praha is going to do a new strat that we haven't seen yet. This is a BLSS where he's going to use a pickable object, and instead of messing with Boko RNG, he is just going to use this barrel
and barrel roll.
BLSS. Yeah, barrel roll all the way to bombs.
Yeah, and we have Legend of Link to thank for this particular trick here that we're watching.
Yes, this is a
game not too long ago.
Brand new trick, and because he did not do I don't know if he got skew earlier, but he did not need to get skew.
Yeah,
he got skew on Magnesis.
Yep, that is something that has been floating around, pun intended, where folks are using the skew that they end up getting from Magnesis all the way over to bombs, which is great.
Yes. The reason why you can use bombs, and pretty much everyone normally uses bombs in every other category, but the reason why Praha there had to use a barrel is because he hasn't unlocked bombs yet. So the easiest way to get an object you can pick up is with an amiibo. I believe that is the Ganondorf amiibo.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sly is making his way to Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you can go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I apologize because I didn't see whether or not Sly ended up getting that on first. Oh
why? No,
Why gate? ¿Por qué eres así?
Yeah, the gate.
Oh yes,
the gate there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the gate there, there's no real way to open it. You're supposed to open it from the inside, but you from the BTB you just go so fast that it can be unloaded and you just walk right through. Sometimes though it does load anyway, so you have to ESC in. And while the cutscene's going on, there's a guardian right behind you, so you gotta just hope he doesn't see you.
Yeah.
And this skew spot is very strange, so it is just a pain to get in.
Mm-hmm. And as we see, Sly struggling a bit there to get skew as well as just to clip in. It is a little finicky, this particular ESC into this spot, but thankfully gets a good one.
It looks like Bings is utilizing another BLSS. Castle BTB it's debatable, but I think it's generally recognized as the hardest BTB in the run. Is very precise timing, and sometimes just a BLSS with bombs can make it the trick a lot easier on runners. And sometimes in a race, you think, well, I'll lose some time doing the BLSS, but it's worth it because it's faster than missing, Castle BTB a ton. So that's what Bings is going for. And he's using bombs, which makes maneuverability a lot easier than compared to a barrel, for example.
Yeah, Praha getting a good wind bomb unfortunately took a bit of damage, but again, with that extra food that you end up getting from scanning amiibo so early on, may need 1 or 2 more hits on that tree. That definitely is not going to get... Yep.
Oh, he got his arrow back. That's good. If the tree, you use an arrow to redirect it, so if the arrow is stuck in the tree, arrow routing is very tight in this route. So
Citrus run.
Very good that he got his arrow back.
Yeah. And one of the little smaller details as well, I don't know if you noticed, but Praha ended up grabbing that mushroom that's there. And that was the first item that he'd grabbed, but it did actually reset the timer for stasis, which allowed for him to do the follow-up hits on the next tree. Unfortunate that he mistimed the stasising of it. Looks like Sly's having some issues with this mid.
Yeah, the mid-air looks like Sly missed it at first, but he was able to recover. It's really hard to recover that, so that's very impressive. Bing's also got loaded gate, so he also has to clip in. So gate is not being nice today, and also looks like he's stuck. He ESC'd in. He ESC'd. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
There it is.
He's in.
All right. Sly getting good Moblin RNG there with him actually not noticing him.
Looks like crazy easy's got some Lizzlethrow shenanigans. Those Lizzles can be a huge pain if they notice you, because they will just run around all over the place.
Yeah.
So it looks like he recovered very well.
Yeah, and just like that again, Bings and Crazy are neck and neck. It looks like Praha's having some issues with his Bokoblin for the BTB. All right, we'll see if he's able to get the balance as Sly starts.
And Crazy there is actually going for the Nadra's Fang. Yeah, Nadra's Fang. And so does Bings at the same time. Basically, it's a dragon part. We use it for 2 things. The big thing is it extends your time on the fights. It's very tight. So even if you have bad Calamity RNG, it's just nice to have some extra time. And you don't need to use a lot of food as well. You could just do the bare minimum to get 3 attack up and use the skill, and you're good on time. So help with food as well.
All right, and Sly getting Wind Blight skip onto Water Blight. And these Blight fights essentially are pretty much have been standardized, right? At least in regards to this new route that we're using for any percent. It looks like Bings. Oh no!
Ran out of stamina. He's doing a different route where he's gonna grab. Yeah, he's gonna grab 3 extra ancient arrows. You got to go over this pool of malice. Ran out of stamina on the climb, so he fell into it. It looks like he recovered. That can be a little scary, but hopefully he has enough backup food. I think he does for the wind bombs coming up here, but it's gonna be tight.
No, well, so he's ran out of fish at this point. So the only food that Bings currently has is that of the attack up food. So he'll be able to do this next wind bomb, get through the moblin, and then need to use the actual attack up food. But again, thankfully, grab that fang. Doesn't really have to worry about the time, which is also rather helpful for this particular section.
Yes. Technically, looks like I don't know how that happened. It could have been lag because of the camera, but I'm not sure. Instead of going for it again, he is just gonna run by, which he can do, but he's got to go right around this guardian. Very tense here.
Yeah.
And he's also got to be careful not to attract the moblin as he climbs up. Looks like he's good.
Knocking out the Lizzo. Crazy making his way over to Blight Skip or Wind Blight Skip.
Yep.
And Crazy's been popping off. Honestly, these last few qualifiers, Crazy's been very, very consistent.
Yes, I was watching.
Love to see the progression.
I was watching him earlier, and he almost got a plat PB in practice. So he has definitely been doing a lot better. He's been just these races. It's proof that these races helped you get better as a runner. Even though you may not be going for PB attempts, you by doing these races, you get better as a runner. So it helps a lot if you're trying to go for a PB.
Yeah, very much so.
So
and just
looks
so that
like
we get a good good idea of how many folks we actually have. So we currently have 12 entrants for this particular race. We have Sly, Cinnamon, Noman, Crazy AZ, Bings, Orcris, Sprinkles, Zelkis, Prahaha, Tax Slayer, Scorpson, Tay, who unfortunately I think forfeited from the race. So I apologize for that. Current any percent world record is 25:04.
yes. Air 5 improved it by 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, it was unfortunate that he didn't have any sound for that recording, unfortunately. By 2.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Viva Mexico, for sure.
Yeah.
Because we got that.
Looks like Praha did
the
wind bomb there, but I think he got stuck on the big there's like a little tower there that you can just hit and it stops you, so you got to be able to work with that. There's just a difference in timing between runners on their wind bomb.
Beautiful. Great job, Sly. Being able to finish off phase 1 fairly quickly.
Yep. And instant laser. Good RNG for Sly.
I love it. 1, 2, and then right here, just spin to win. I will say nothing. As we transition over to Praha, hopefully getting this Blight Skip. Again, saving. Can never stress that enough during these races, that folks should save there if they're uncomfortable or if their hands are shaky, because during these races you do get a bit nervous. Oh?
Looks like Bings there is opting to, instead of use any more Claymore durability, he's going to use Royal Guard Bow durability. The Claymore there, you use it for sneak striking in Castle and for the Blights. And if you're not careful, you need it to break at a certain point, or otherwise you will run into Blight issues. So they're deciding to save on some durability and go for the hit with the bow instead. And it looks like Sly is done with Calamity, so he's just on to Dark Beast.
Yeah.
Also known as target practice.
Yeah.
Target practice for next run.
Yes. All right. Looks like Bings is doing pretty well. Oh, unfortunately gets Fireblight to quickly stand up. Slicer Gamer.
It looks like, you got all the hits before Fireblight can attack. I think Fireblight is the scariest Blight, just because you gotta switch your weapons, in between stunning him.
Yeah, yeah.
That messes me up so much.
I feel the same way about Thunderblight for some time, or at least for some time I felt the same way, especially because I kept getting that weird animation where he raises up immediately before the During phase 1, I mean.
At the very start? Oh. Yeah,
Instead
that
of
can
doing
happen
something wrong with
sometimes.
Fireblight. But Crazy Easy opting for the 6 arrows to the face of Calamity to start, and then going into the Fury.
Yep. In 6 Ancient Arrow, technically you don't need to do a Flurry Rush, but everybody does one because it forces Calamity to do a body slam, and which gives you time to run away so he can give you a laser. It just helps with keeping this fight as smooth and predictable as possible. But it looks like he was slightly late on the parry there. Calamity is actually I think it's a lot more scary because you gotta do 2 parries, and you're already very nervous with 1 parry, but when you're on good pace and now you gotta do 2 parries, it can be a little nerve-wracking. But it looks like he recovered, he grabbed the extra shield, so he was fine.
Yeah, and looks like Sly is going to be wrapping up right here in a quick second.
Yep.
In like a 29 for Sly there.
Dang, that's a really good race time.
Very, very good time for a race, absolutely. Crazy opting not to parry any of these. Oh, last one.
Parries the last one, yeah. So Crazy got kind of unlucky there. If phase 1 goes wrong, Calamity can just sometimes go straight to the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, and
GG's
GG
to
Sly.
Sly.
GG Sly.
Handshakes.
Yep.
All right.
But it looks like Crazy dealt with he got good wall RNG. Calamity can sometimes just give you stuff you can't parry, and you can just stay up there for minutes on end and be really annoying. But looks like Crazy was just a little early on the stun lock. You need a certain amount of stamina in order to do the spin. And he went back on the wall. Oh my goodness. That's not good.
Yeah, Calamity just giving
he's giving him a laser. This laser timing is different than the one everyone's used to, so that's very scary there. You kind of get muscle memory for a laser parry, but that's farther away, so... Good recovery, man.
GG's to Noman.
Good recovery. And yes, GG Noman. Good run by Noman.
All of our runners have been doing so well.
Yeah.
Love it. The goal is to finish. The goal is to finish. Praha.
Like Praha, yeah. It looked like he was aiming with the bow, and immediately afterwards he got ready to prepare for a parry. But looks like he still need the claymore. And Crazy and Bings are both on Dark Beast now.
Fantastic.
Praha. How did you do? I don't know how many parries he's done, but it feels like he's done a lot.
Like his 3rd one?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So he's handling it very well.
Alright, GG Sly. Thank you very much. It was incredible to watch, friend.
Yes, that was a very good run, Sly. Looks like Calam's second phase immediately goes onto the wall, but he gives you this fireball. It moves pretty slow, so yeah, it's pretty easy to parry. So
we say that, and then many a times the commentators will curse it.
Well, that's why I said it after he parried. That's why I said it after he parried it.
No. All jokes, no jokes. Oh, GG's to our runners, honestly. Again, like this new route actually does put a lot more pressure on the actual runner. In regards to, like you mentioned, that's that initial parry that needs to happen with Calamity, ensuring you hit your headshots. The blights are a much tighter fight as well, so very, very good work by all of our runners today. As we watch Crazy wrap up, and what looks to be the second to last shot. GG's to Zelkis for their finish as well.
Yes, GG's Zelkis. Pra's just finishing up Stunlock, and it looks like it went pretty well, so... And Zelkis got a route PB, so GG to that.
Jeez. Only 2 minutes to beat. Hey, progress is a slow process, friend, and you're doing well. GG's.
Yes.
All right, Crazy AZ about to hit this final shot. Same with Bings.
Yep, both of them on their last shot.
Praha starting up.
Yep. So pretty much once you get into Dark Beast, compared to the Onslaught, like Blights and Calamity, if you die any time in Blights or Calamity, it loses multiple minutes. But once you get to Dark Beast, significantly easier than the Blights or the Calamity, and GG, Crazy, and Bings for finishing.
GG's Crazy AZ for finishing 4th, Sprinkles for finishing 5th, Bing 6th. Yeah, a lot of our runners are running very close together. We love it. Oh my god, this ankle shot.
What is this? that is
that real.
That's the hardest part about
real.
Dark Beast. Yeah, that Dark Beast is a little messed up on its hitboxes. That specific light thing is, I don't know. That
I aim below it.
You have to aim below it. It's confusing, but
no, that was amazing.
Works out.
Thank you very much. Praha just needs to finish up this. We should be good to go, and then we still have collectively we still have 5 more racers that would need to be finishing. So almost there.
And I didn't mention it before. No one's come in yet, but if anyone would like to come in for an interview, are we doing interviews of the runners?
So leave that to our. Yeah, absolutely. Any and all racers who are interested in coming in, please feel free to drop in. We'd love to hear from you, hear about your runs, your successes, your growing pains. So if folks want to join in, please hop on in.
All right, I will start bringing in people then.
Thank you.
Yes.
GG's, folks.
Hello, GG's everyone.
Hey. GG. Oh my goodness, that was a wild run.
Yeah, tell us about it. How'd it go?
All right. Well, so after stasis, my amiibo controller died. I don't know what the error was because it was in French. But I just plugged it in and tried again after bombs, and it was okay. So that was cool. Yeah, Plateau had struggles, but that was fine. And then, God, I don't know what happened with the gate clip. I think it might be that the castle cutscene loaded halfway through the clip, so it put me in between the 2 walls, and I was just stuck there for I don't know, it felt like a minute. Finally, I decided to just try and normal clip through the other side, and thankfully that worked, or I'd have to reload back to Plateau. But geez, that was something.
Yeah, GG Praha for the finish.
Oh god, that was a difficult one to finish. It was a difficult one to start.
GG's to Orcris as well for their finish.
Yeah, GG.
But the important thing is you finished. Some points is better than none.
Yeah,
that's right.
Let me preface this with the fact that all I wanted to do was finish. All I had done for the last 24 hours was practice Ganon, and I'm okay with my Ganon fight. It was clean, but my controller, the rubber on the joystick broke off, so I switched to my backup controller right before the run, and I'm like, it's fine, it's the same controller, right? It's not. It's not, if you couldn't tell. I think that was 5th or 6th try Cryo BTB.
Yeah,
I did. Huh?
You did. I was gonna say, Praha, you did really well in the second phase. I think you caught up very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm usually pretty confident in my plateau. I mean, I've only been running for about 3.5 months, and my average plateau is a 15:30. So I'm usually never practicing it too much. But clearly I need to now. But yeah, I'm quite content with my back half. I got first try Castle BTB, and other than the second wind bombing castle, it was pretty clean for me.
GG's to Orcris and Tax Slayer for their finishes. 37-13, 37-55.
And I can't believe I died in Boko Camp.
Oh, right.
Which one did you die at?
And Twig asked me if I could read La Constitución Española. Es la norma suprema de... I don't speak Spanish.
It sounded great, though. Welcome in, Orcris, Sprinkles. Welcome in. GG's.
Welcome in. How'd all your runs go?
The the clam got me. It was dumb. Like I only had one bomb arrow, and he went to the wall, and I accidentally crouched, and he shot me. I was like, it was PB pace again. So
Oh, rough.
Oh man.
We'll get there, man.
I've had 4 races on PB pace and missed them all. It was great.
The trick is to screw up early, then you don't have to worry about it.
I should stop screwing up though. That's
True,
my
that's
next
the other
plan of
trick.
action. It's okay.
Hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah, when you get to that point, it's like you are very close to a PB. Just keep doing runs, you'll eventually get it.
Absolutely.
Looks as though Cinnamon unfortunately ended up dying to Calamity and forfeit the race. So the only racer that we're waiting on right now.
Discord?
Do you people? Okay.
Oh yeah, we're good. CBF, did you cut off there? I didn't. Earlier, it was Discord messing me up, but yeah, it looks like we're only waiting on one more runner. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Does anyone else have anything they want to add to their runs?
Yeah, I had a pretty decent run too. Finally got my 3rd run in. Unfortunately, Ganon was a coward again and went to the wall in the 2nd phase. But I golded Dark Beast Ganon by 0.2 seconds, so it was a pretty decent run
Nice.
overall for me.
Hey, still a gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big
Nice.
deal.
Also, yeah, CBF, you did get cut off. At least for my end. But yeah, GG on the gold sprinkles. That's great.
Yeah, 0.2 seconds is 0.2 seconds with Dark Beast, so overall, really good. Finally got my 3 races in, and I'll probably just do the last 2 as well. Maybe I can beat one of these times, but overall, very happy.
That's good to hear.
I, for the 2nd run in a row, had the bombs Boko like watch me sail over his head and bounced off his face for one of those baby bounces. And this time it was just low enough that I could not pull off the fall damage cancel, but still enough to kill me.
Oh no.
So that was just a real pain.
Wow.
This is why you gotta
And-
learn the bombs BLSS.
Yeah.
True.
I did see Praha do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and with keeping the skew from Mad, because obviously I got forced angle, of course, in that run. Kept the skew. I clipped into bombs incredibly fast once I got there too.
Oh, can you click
Yeah,
into
it was
bombs with
actually
Meg skew? That's
very-
cool.
Yep.
Yep. And it was actually very fast too.
Yeah. So that was a time I can't say I've seen that much ever before. To have it happen 2 races in a row was not my favorite thing. But it was okay recovery. It was still better than my race yesterday, so at least it'll replace that time. And
Yeah.
Apparently CBF's power has gone out,
Good.
so
Yeah.
you'll have to finish this on your own.
That's all right. Yeah. Does anyone have anything else to add? Anyone else coming on in, or are we pretty much good?
Looks like our last racer is forfeited.
All right. Well, then, if that's all, then I think we're good.
Alrighty then.
I'll just say, yeah. I'll say one last thing. GG's to everyone who raced. Even if you didn't finish, it's okay. Things happen. This run is really hard to do in a race, and I have definitely felt that before.
There is still like 2-3 more races, if I'm right.
Yes, and
Yeah.
So there is still 3 chances to get
yeah, you always
qualified.
have chances. It always takes your top 3. So even if you forfeit twice, you could still get 3 runs in, and you'll still be good. So yeah,
That was
GG's
my
to everyone who raced, and thank you to I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. Is it Shiro Eli? I think I.
That works. You can also just go as Shiro.
All right, Shiro. Thank you so much for the restream and hosting.
No problem. Thank you to all of our runners. I'm glad that a lot of you guys jumped in. GG's on finishing. And thank you, Sora Boss and CBF for commentating this. This was super fun. I actually learned a lot. I don't watch a lot of Breath of the Wild, but this was definitely exciting, and I agree with you, very challenging. So super cool, amazing content, definitely, from everyone involved. So as mentioned, there is a qualifier tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, or 2 a.m. UTC for all those late night peeps. And then there is another qualifier the following day at 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC. And it looks like those are the last qualification races for this tournament. So if there are no final thoughts or preferences for raid, I was looking through to find other Breath of the Wild people. So I found someone going through their first playthrough, so we'll give them some love and raid from the Breath of the Wild community. And we hope to see y'all back on, I believe, the same channel tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching. We will see you tomorrow.
GG, y'all.
Bye.
GG, everyone.
GG.
Thanks, GG, everyone.
GG all.